to really uncover what it is that we need for ourselves and what we're here to share with others. I remember taking my first yoga class when I was 21 after several years of almost crippling anxiety. You know, the feeling when you're lying in bed at night and you're tossing and turning for hours and the mind is just worrying and worrying and worrying and worrying and wouldn't settle. So over my journey, I tried many things to help that, as I'm sure many of you have. And I remember after my first intense yoga class coming home and resting and being able to sleep and noticing that my mind was a little bit calmer. And that began what's been more than 30 years now of searching out teachers and mentors and classes and courses all over the world, online and in person, many retreats, to find what this medicine is for me. Now, Qigong is different than yoga. Yoga came from a religious tradition whose objective was to transcend the ego and to transcend the limitations of life on earth. Qigong is similar in that it is a complete system of personal development for health, and yet it originated from a perspective of seeking to balance and to create vibrant health, to have longevity be a focus, and not only length of life, but to live vibrantly and healthily for the time that we are here. Qigong also has roots in shamanistic traditions. I remember early on, I read a study about the placebo effect, right? You all know the placebo effect and the lengths that researchers had to go through. If you haven't refreshed this in yourself, it's quite fascinating. The lengths that researchers and drug companies and so on have to go through to prove the efficacy of an intervention or a new drug, right? There used to be like the placebo effect. So they would have like double blind studies, right? Where the person, it started with the study group doesn't know which med are you getting the sugar pill or are you getting the thing? But then they realized that even the administrator, the person who administered, if they know which the other person's getting, it influenced the results. And it goes on and on and on from there. And so when I first read this and when I first realized the magic of the capability of the human mind to influence our bodies, our overall system's health and well-being just by something that we know, I was like, why aren't we studying that? Like, why are we trying to exclude the placebo effect? Right? Why aren't we putting all the focus on what's that mechanism? That if the doctor believes the patient will get better, they have a better chance of getting better than if the doctor thinks they don't. No matter what, even not even what they say, just what they believe, what they think has an influence. And so, yay for modern medical science and for seeking to develop drugs and treatments that are independent of this. And yet, what's that all about? And so Qigong never really lost that thread, never lost that thread of what you think, what you believe influences your life in inestimable ways and in truly fantastic ways. And so this system, we use the word Qigong as if we know it. And we could use a word like use of your energy or development of your energy or cultivation of your energy. And even that doesn't say what it is. So we could almost use Qigong as an unpronounceable, meaningless system, meaningless word. Like we don't know what that is. So the ancient mystics, when they studied life and the miracle of nature around them, they're like, something's happening. There's some kind of force or some kind of intelligence or some kind of process or something is going on here. And they needed a word. So they called it Qi, meaning energy or life force. And then Gong means development over time or work over time. So the simplest definition of Qigong is anything that you use to help develop, cultivate your energy in three different areas of your body. Now they're all connected, so they're not really separate. And for utility and for exploration, we separate energy into three areas, and we'll go into this into the course. The lower energy center is called Dantian, which could mean elixir field or my favorite definition, best energy ever, is what they call the lower dantian, or it's the storehouse of vitality. And then the center of our body, our lungs and our hearts and our emotional center, is a different type of energy. And then that mental energy I was just referring to, that what you think, our connection to spirit, intuition, wisdom, the dawning of awareness is an indispensable part of Qigong. And so in the world that we live in, there's over 3,500 documented styles of Qigong. Where would we even start? Some of them are very focused on longevity. Some of them are focused on martial applications, self-defense, or Tai Chi. Tai Chi is a slowed down martial art that is a subset. It's a form of Qigong. Some of them are focused on different aspects of health and well-being. Some of them are very magical and mystical and really are going into that direction. And what we've brought together in Great Energy Qigong, which you are all a part of now, is the practices for these three energy centers, for the mind, the heart, and the body, the center of wisdom, the center of love, and the center of power and vitality. We've brought together a reasonable set of this that we've learned for you to learn for yourself, for you to immerse in over the coming weeks and months, and potentially to share with others. There is a thirst in our planet for practical wisdom. There's a thirst for heart-centered business and relationships. And there is a thirst for really learning how to develop that great energy that Daniela was speaking about, that we named our company, our country, our company for, our business. Would be cool if the country was named Great Energy, right? If any of you are into politics, let's start that movement. We're not quite there yet. And here we are, 22 of us gathered together. And so we named our organization Great Energy because we want to bring practical techniques that really help. And so the practices that we'll be bringing to you, we didn't make them up for the most part. There's some original processes for Daniela. Daniela and I teach two different parts of this, and we have some other teachers as well that assist. My focus is on the physical practices. I'm a practice leader. I guide movement practices, I guide breath practices, I guide meditation practices, I guide visualizations. I'm often inspired on how to share them or what order to share or bring this one now or don't bring this one now. In that sense, I'm listening to subtle currents. However, all of the practices that I'm bringing to you were given to me by my teachers.